Hello, my darling ladies. Never split the bill. Never pay half the check. If a man wants you to pay half the check or split the bill, he should have the nerve to tell you before. He invites you out to dinner, brunch, breakfast, and says, listen, I'd like to have a date with you, but I want you to pay half the check. No, they would never do that because they know you would not accept. So they ask you after they've enjoyed your wonderful company. After the meal, they ask you to pay half the check. They ask you to split the bill. That is rude. And a high-class man, a gentleman, would even think of doing that. Only a dusty, borderline loser. And I'm sorry, men. This is the deal. You invited her out to dinner. You pay the check. Ladies, he invited you out. He's enjoying your company. He pays the check. And if he wanted you to pay half, he should tell you before. Before. So when the check comes, the check is not your problem. You don't even look at it. But what you can say is, thank you for a lovely evening. Thank you for inviting me out to dinner. I enjoyed your company. As a gentleman, high-class man, he should say, thank you. I enjoyed your company. As a borderline dusty loser, he will say, well, can you pay half the check? I mean, the bill is $45 and so your part is $22.50. No. You say no. You do not pay half the check. You do not ever split the bill. And you tell him, no, I am not giving you half the money for the bill. I'm not splitting the check. You could have told me before. I would have decided to accept this date or not. Never split the check. Never split the bill. And do not feel guilty because he is being rude. He asked you out on a date and now he's asking you for money. The man is asking you for money because to ask you to split the bill is asking you for money. So what future could you ever have with this man? What future are you going to build with a man who can't even afford to pay for a meal? This is your future boyfriend, fiance. You want to marry this man, have children? Is he going to be able to buy you a home one day? No, no, and no. Do not split the check. Do not pay half the check. You say, I'm not paying for half the check. You could have told me before, I'm leaving. You get up and you leave. You walk out the door, hail a cab, and go home. And do not feel guilty for 1 minute because he should feel guilty. He should feel guilty for inviting you out to dinner, thinking you're going to be wined and dined. And then the whole time he knows he planned on asking you for half the check. No, no. I'm living in Italy, Milan, Italy. In general, European men are classy, they're gentlemen. They wouldn't even think of asking a woman to pay half the check. Well, Italian men, Italians do it better. Italian men, they would feel like less of a man. They would be embarrassed. They would feel inferior if a woman even suggested to pay half the check. So, high-class men, high-value men never ask a woman to pay half the check. Never. So do not feel guilty. You do not pay half the check. You do not offer to pay half the check. And if he, at the end of a meal, enjoying your wonderful company, has the nerve, audacity to ask you to pay half the check, you leave. You say no, and you leave. You leave. Ciao for now, my darling, beautiful, high-value ladies. Give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. And remember, you're the prize. He must win you. And your company, giving your company to a man on a date, you're already paying with your time and your company. And a high-value man knows that. Knows that. He is happy to wine and dine a woman because he wants her to be his girlfriend, his fiance. He wants to have a relationship with her. So he's going to show her that he can at least pay for a meal. Mwah.